In this video, we will discuss the Alabama Hemp Grower License application. You'll need a background report, driver's license or state-issued ID, and a proper field or structure to grow hemp in. Your background report will be a background report done by Alabama law enforcement agency. You will have your fingerprints taken to do this background report. You can use the link below. It'll carry you to the form that ALEA requires you to fill out beforehand and gives you instructions on where to go and what to do. For your state issued identification or driver's license, you will simply upload a picture or a copy of your driver's license to your KRS profile. You need to live within 50 miles of your grow site. If you are not a resident of Alabama, you cannot live 50 miles from Alabama, but rather 50 miles from your Alabama grow site. If your company wants to get a grower license, you must have business certification documents from the Alabama Secretary of State, and each key member of the company must have a background report submitted in the KRS profile. This does not include employees or additional contact persons. When selecting your grow site, it is important to understand the rules and regulations and also how big your hemp plants may get. For indoor grow sites, you need about 1,500 square feet to host 500 plants. If you cannot fit 500 little Christmas trees in your grow site, you probably don't have enough room. The same for outdoor grow sites. It's 1 acre or 1,000 plants. If you can't fit 1,000 little Christmas trees in your grow site, you probably do not have enough room. Each grow location will have its own unique coordinates and attached aerial photo, which outlines the field and any other structures that may be in the picture. You can use the link below and it'll take you to a tool we have on our website that'll help you get your GPS coordinates and aerial photo. For your grow site, make sure your location is ready to be farmed. If there are pine trees still standing and where you would like to grow hemp, you probably would not be ready in time. Have you done a soil test? If other commodities like corn, cotton, or soybeans were grown, you probably have residue of previously applied pesticides, and it may be advised to have a heavy metals test done. Also, you may want to have a nutrients test done. That's where you would take a soil sample and send it to the lab and just ask them to run a nutrients analysis to see how healthy your soil is. Also, is your site easily accessible by vehicle? The regional hemp inspectors work out of their trucks. They have to take a lot of gear in them, especially when they get ready to collect your hemp samples. So if it's not easily accessible, it may not work out. If your grow site does not work out, you will have the option to move your proposed grow location, but each grow site will be visited by the regional hemp inspector just to make sure that it can meet the minimum requirements and is accessible. With your grow sites, you must have a current signed property owner affirmation. This will not be signed by the renter, but rather the property owner. The address must match the property owner affirmation and what you provided in the grow site information. This will be uploaded to your KRS profile. If you're a renter, in addition to the affirmation document, you'll have a signed lease agreement that extends beyond the valid hemp license date expiration. This agreement must be uploaded to your KRS profile as well. So let's get started on your application. You'll visit our website at agi.alabama.gov. You'll find the hemp program tile and go to forms and applications. Once you're there, there'll be a link in the highlighted area. The link opens on October 11th at 8 a.m. and closes November 30th at 5 p.m. If you have any questions or need assistance in filling out any forms or applications, please contact our office. They'll be happy to help. but please do not wait to the last minute to fill out these forms and applications. So your first step is you need to read and understand the requirements for Alabama hemp growers. Once you have read and fully understand the requirements of Alabama hemp growers, you'll click the highlighted box and then click the bar below that confirms that you did read the application requirements. So once you get that submitted, it'll carry you to the application page where you'll put your basic information on how to be contacted. You'll put your information, your age, your phone number, your email, your address, the grow site address. With your email address, we ask that you provide a current, up-to-date email address that is easily accessible by your phone or tablet or computer, that's checked often. That is our preferred form of communication. If you provide an email, we ask that you check it daily. At a minimum, check it weekly, but we ask that you check your email daily. That is how we communicate 90% of the time. Please be aware that sometimes our emails will get sent to your spam folder. So if you're looking for an email and feel like you're not getting it, you probably need to look in your spam folder. Continuing on with your application. After you have successfully completed and submitted the previous page, it'll carry you to the payment page. Once you put in your credit card information and it is processed, you can continue to do other things in your application. One of the next steps in your application is submitting your grow site information. So as previously stated before, you'll need a signed property owner affirmation, a copy of your lease agreement, and an aerial photo with outline structures in it. You will need this before you start your grow site addition. This is an example of the property owner affirmation. I do not have an example of a lease agreement. The lease agreement can be handwritten or typed, signed by the leaser and the lessee. And again, make sure those dates continue outside of the licensed hemp period. On your aerial photo, this is an example of a highlighted field area where you would be growing, which would be the center of your hemp field or hemp structure. I have outlined a house, a barn, and an office. The same goes for any grow site. If there are buildings around us, please identify what they are. So adding a grow site. Your grow site name should be unique to the grow site. Please do not use your name. Now this will make for a headache later on while we're auditing or going over some of our forms and applications. Once you have selected a site or structure, you'll collect the GPS coordinates from the center of the structure or field of where you're growing hemp, along with the full address and county of which you're in. Also, again, please remember the minimum requirements of the grow site. If you need to grow less than the minimum, you must have written permission that you can grow less than the minimum from Ms. Gail Ellis. Continuing on with adding a grow site. Once the aerial photo and signed property owner affirmation is added, you'll fill out the rest of the required information and you will submit this application. Once you submit it, it'll carry you to another page where it asks where records will be kept and where you plan to store your crop. It also asks what crop you're growing for. If you're growing for fiber, floral, grain, seed, or if you're growing for something else, you can just simply write it in. Alright, so once we have our grow site added, the final steps, you will need to upload your driver's license. You'll need to attach your background report. Please remember to do all pages. Even if the back page has nothing more than the state seal, we still need that back page. Once you have everything submitted, you will then go to the bottom highlighted bar and submit your application to be reviewed. So what happens next? After your application is submitted, you'll get an auto-generated email from the KRS system that your application has been received. If you did not get this email, you may want to reach out to our office or make sure that it did successfully go through. If our office has any additional questions, they will contact you. Again, this will probably be over email, so just please be checking your email daily. You can expect multiple visits from your regional hemp inspector throughout the year. We'll have the first initial visit to make sure your grow site is suitable. After you have been officially accepted into the Alabama Hemp program, you'll be followed by a visit in the spring to see if you've planted. If you're running into any issues, we can certainly help you get in contact with a local extension. And also, you'll need FSA documents later on in the season. We can also help you get in contact with your local FSA office. While your application may be approved before January 1st, you may get your license approved as late as January 31st. So just be looking from the time you submit it up until January 31st, you'll know if you have been approved. If you need any additional help, have any questions about any of the forms or applications discussed that are required through the process, please feel free to contact us. You can email us at alhemp@agi.alabama.gov. If you feel like that you would rather talk to us over the phone or feel like you could explain it better over the phone, please feel free to call us at 334-240-7230. If you would like to get in contact with your regional hemp inspector, you can use the link provided and it will carry you to an interactive map. You'll simply click on the county that you are in. When you click on that county, it'll give you that inspector's telephone number and email address if you'd like to contact them about any additional questions. Thanks for joining.